Welcome into the rundown Exposure Baseball. Again, I am here with Select Baseball, Travel Baseball, Southeastern Conference Baseball King, Brandon Turner. I try to find a new way to introduce him each week. Brandon, let's jump right into the show and talk about some college baseball.
Yeah, like we say every week, it's we've got new guys that are continuing to do really well, and we've got some new faces each week that are starting to kind of turn it on there a little bit. And starting off with John Barron's, another huge weekend, 7 for 12, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs for Belmont last night. He was 2 for 3 again with another double. So
now, is there a defense out there when he's playing, or
to be honest with you, it's almost
there's no defense.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I think right now he's in one of those grooves to where put the ball in play, it's gonna find a hole somewhere, and then just on top of the fact that he's a really good hitter, and but like we talked about last week, it's so good to see somebody like him having the success, because you always knew he would. It was just a matter of time until it kind of came to fruition. Another guy, Harrison Travis.
Right.
Another big week, 4 for 5 on the weekend. Carson Newman had another four-game sweep. One guy that's starting to put it together here is Brandon Langenberg at Rome State. He had a big weekend, 11 for 15, home run, triple, 3 doubles. He's one that had been off to a slow start, so it's good to kind of see him, getting rolling here. It was always just a matter of time until he kind of hit his stride. Jake Wright continues to do what he does. Complete game, 1 hit, no runs, 6 strikeouts. Tyler Shaver, huge once again. He's huge for him every weekend, but he started this past weekend when he's been in relief. Win a complete game, 3 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts. Gunnar Ricketts for Carson Newman, another good weekend, 3 for 6, 2 home runs and a double. Chaz Bertolani was 6 for 12, 8 RBIs, 2 doubles for Lipscomb. That included a 4 for 4 game with 6 RBIs on Sunday. So good to see that. Maddix Jones, 3 for 11, 3 RBIs, home run for Lipscomb over Kennesaw. Jerry Hammond's one of the best, junior college hitters in the country. 3 for 7 the weekend, home run, 2 RBIs. I think he's up to 15 or 16 home runs now on the year. Yeah, so he's one that he hadn't really, everybody talks about a season's a marathon, or, not a sprint. For him, he hasn't had the ups and downs. It's just, on fire all year. Ashton King, ETSU, 6 for 14, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs. Conference win for them over VMI. Another ETSU guy we talked a lot about last week, Ethan Cady, 5 for 12 once again, double, 2 RBIs. So good to see him continuing to roll. Another ETSU guy, Sean Kearney. He's one that, gets some spot starts here and there and has to make the most of his opportunities. And he did that this past weekend, 2 for 5, including a home run and 3 RBIs to put him ahead. Pitching wise, Peyton Wigington, Camden Sewell, both, really good on the weekend. Craig Keckley at Dallas Baptist. I think he's probably 14 appearances. We've talked about it before, 14 appearances away from breaking the record there at Dallas Baptist. And he went 2 2/3, no runs, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts. Sonny Montiel down at South Alabama. It's good to see him starting to get it rolling here. 3 for 8 on the weekend with a double, 3 RBIs. We just talked about ups and downs. Paul Comistet got off to a slow start this year, but this past weekend he was 4 for 4 in the Sunday game, 7 RBIs, and with a home run. So good to see him starting to get it rolling. Andre Tarver continuing to trend in a really good direction here. That's the thing about JUCO is they're not even, Division I. It's you're kind of at the beginning of the season. With JUCO, you're towards the back part of the half of the season. So it's good to see him, catching his stride here towards the back end. Blake Burkhalter throwing the ball really well for Auburn. Hayden Gillian, 5 for 9, Gilead also had a double home run, so it was good to see that. Carlson Reed got his start for West Virginia last week in the midweek. Went 3 innings, no runs, just 2 hits. So it's good to see that. And lastly, Casey Hare at Milligan, Dylan Mangini, Alex Gonzalez at Covenant, Mangini at Lafayette, Brandon Tremble at Tusculum. They all had really good weekends. So, a lot of guys that are kind of, like we talked about, are kind of starting to figure out, you always, the whole season's based off confidence. And a lot of these guys are starting to find their confidence, and, you can kind of see them kind of gaining more and more steam as the year goes on here.
Yeah. And it's, again, great to see our guys succeeding. Great to hear. Katie sent me a text last week, got on me for calling him out, threw him under the bus for it's not okay.
Yeah.
But he did talk about how he's learned to, calm himself down and realize that it's not the end of the world when you make an out, and he stayed more on an even keel. And obviously, he's talented already, but obviously when you add the mental piece in there, that makes him not as an emotional hitter, that makes him even more dangerous. So It's good to see him having success.
Yeah.
But I want to circle around to a guy that you talked about that had a huge start this past week for Carson Newman. I want to talk about Jake Wright. Now, listen, Jake Wright's dad, here's a little fun fact. His dad was my very first friend in the first grade.
Oh, wow.
What do you think about that?
So just dating yourself there a little bit.
Well, listen, I'm very old. I'm very old. But Jake, like you look at this guy, here comes this guy. You look at him and you go, yeah, he's probably not going to dominate this game. And he just continues to do it. It doesn't matter the level. It doesn't matter the competition. He wants the ball. He's got, giant ego, which is not a bad thing. And he gets up there and just shoves. Let's talk about him for a little bit.
Kind of basically what you just said. He's the guy that he's 5 foot, 8 on a good day. And, but he's somebody that thinks that he's, 6'8". And for him, he's one of those guys, like we just talked about with the hitting side. He's that way with the pitching side. We talk about the, the mentality and all that, with Katie kind of figuring that out, and, it's helping him. Jake Wright basically feeds off of his mentality, his mental aspect of thinking that he's better than you are. And here's the thing, there might be a lot of times he's not, but he thinks he is.
Yeah.
And that's such a big part in all sports, but especially the game of baseball. And, for a freshman, he was SAC player of the week this past week. And he actually threw on the Friday night. And I actually talked to Carson Newman's head coach before he went out, before Jake threw. And he's like, I went up to him like, hey, you want to start? Like, all right, you're going to go Friday. And he said, he didn't blink, did anything. He said, yes, sir. And just turned, that like it was nothing. And, for him, he did what, you expect him to do, but something me and Coach Griff there at Carson Newman talk about. He's one of those guys that if you get beat, I can live with getting beat with him on the mound. And the reason why is because I don't have to worry about the fact that, okay, like he bowed down in a certain situation. He didn't go after guys and so forth. Like he put it all out there. We didn't win, but I'm going to, live or die with a guy like that out there on the mound. So, he had such a good career at Gordon Lee. And, I think a little bit of it, we weren't even able to highlight it very much because of COVID last year, being his senior year. But, what he's doing there at Carson Newman is kind of expected, but it's expected in a unique way because there's not many kids with that mentality to where you sit there and say, okay, going in his freshman year, he's going to mentally everything be able to handle it. And he's done an unbelievable job.
Yeah. Listen, there's something to be said for competing. Just compete. And I love what Griff said. You'll never have to worry about Jake Wright as far as competing goes.
Yeah.
He's going to get it. I want to say this about it because my good friend, God rest his soul, Stump Martin, Stump loved Jake Wright. He used to, he'd call me, we'd talk on the phone because Jake played for him when he was younger. And he'd say, man, Jake Wright, he's not big. He's not as big as nothing. He goes, but he struts around that man like a banty rooster out there. And he goes, I'd give him the ball. And he just, that's the kind of guy that you want to go to battle with. And that's still true from even when he was a little guy all the way to now. So that's a big shout out for Jake. And that's a great family. I'm glad to see him doing well.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't even know that his family's company's business is right there by the facility.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, I had no idea of that, but yeah, no, great family, great kid. Actually, I got to know Jake a lot more because when we went down to Fort Myers, let's see, it was probably 3 years ago, and him and Gillian, and him, Hayden, Gillian, and then Carson Ford, they all stayed with us because their families couldn't go down. And just getting to know him that entire week, you kind of saw what makes him who he is and what makes him click and all that stuff. And yeah, he's just a great kid, comes from a great family.
Yeah, I'd love to see him doing well. I mean, we want to see all our kids do well, but when someone deserves it, that's even better. So, All right, let's move out of college and talk about some high school baseball. And we got guys, again, all over the place. So let's go ahead and get as many names out there as we can.
Yeah, Landon Franklin at Walker Valley, Kentucky commit 2023. He was 3 for 6 last night, 2 RBIs. He was 3 for 3 the night before against East Hamilton with a home run that game. Bluefield College commit, Reese Jenner, 2 for 3 last night, RBI, 2 walks for South Pittsburgh. Brody Jenner, another relative there of Reese Jenner, 2 for 3 with a home run last night for Gordon Lee. So it's good to see him starting to get it rolling here. Brady Smith, he's going to be a really good arm, but he also can swing it a little bit. He was 3 for 3 with an RBI. On Monday, he went 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, just gave up 1 hit. And he's a 2023 that a lot of people are starting to take notice on. So it's good to see him rolling. 2022 MTSU commit, Cole Torbett, 2 for 4 last night, 3 for 3 the night before for Science Hill. Jackson Diamond starting to get rolling here, 2 for 3, triple RBI for Science Hill. Hudson Siegler for Farragut. Farragut, they're off to a really good start here. He was 2 for 5 last night in a 9-1 win for the Admirals there. Luke Lowry is one that, he was in basketball, got a slow start into baseball season here, but he's kind of picking up really quickly. So it's good to see that. He had added a home run, a double the other night. 2023 Brandon Korn had a big outing, 5 innings, gave up no hits, no runs, 10 strikeouts against Chattooga. Kane Johnson from Hickson, 2 for 3 RBI last night. Ryan Nelson, 2 for 3 with a double and RBI. He goes to Roane County up in the Kingston area. Maddix Jones, he's a at Silverdale, he's a 2024. Good to see him rolling. He in the fall, he wasn't playing with us, but in the fall, we were hearing, he's up to 87, he's up to 88, he's up to 89, and good to see him getting a lot of opportunities for Silverdale. But he went 5 innings, no earned runs, struck out 7 in a win for them. One that continues to have a really good early season here is Aiden Gibson at Walker Valley. He was 2 for 4 last night, 2 for 3 on Monday with a home run for Walker Valley and a win over, I believe it was East Hamilton. Brandon Siegler, 2024, 2 for 4 on Monday, RBI. Lucas Buckner for Farragut, freshman, 2024, 2 for 4 on Monday night. Bryce Berkey's one for Farragut's been swinging it really well. Cleveland State commit, 2021 kid, 2 for 4, 2 RBIs, also added a home run. Andrew Ronning went 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, 1 run on Monday against Ooltewah. He also added 8 strikeouts. Talked about Brady Smith, Riley Byers for Gibbs, 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts. I actually was able to get out and watch Cooper Castill throw the other night against Landon Maynor. Both of them threw the ball really well. Cooper, he went a complete game, 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 10 strikeouts. It was good to see that. And Maynard was 7 innings, two earned runs. I believe it was 13 strikeouts. The big donkey, 2022 Lipscomb commit, Caleb Nix, 2 for 3, once again for Dalton. Caleb Miley, can't ever say his last name right, down in for Cherokee Bluff, down in the Atlanta area, 2024, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. Caden Adsit, 2 for 3 for Heritage against Morristown East. Braden Frey, 2 for 2, double with RBI, 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, also on the mound against Greenback for Loudon. Ian Sonner, 2023 he was 2 for 2, 2 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Those are just a few of the names that here, and in the early on that are off to, not necessarily off to good starts, but they were already off to good starts, but kind of continuing what they were already doing. Last night I was able to get out. I watched Udawal McMahon. Hayden Frank was really good on the mound. I think Udawal ended up coming back. I had already left, but Udawal ended up coming back late to win. But Hayden threw it really well. Will Grimmick came in and threw it really well. Mason Roderick, 2024, from McMahon. He's getting to start a lot for them behind the plate. He added 2 hits. So, it's like we talked about last week. It's one of the most enjoyable times of the year for me personally, being able to get out, watch a lot of our guys and kind of see some strides that have been taken, not just on their hard work, but just their development. They're getting bigger, stronger, older. But yeah, really proud of our guys and looking forward to this upcoming week and seeing how they build off that.
Yeah, I we'll talk about Maddix Jones for a minute. That's a name I haven't heard in a while, just because I've been out of high school coaching a little bit. But Maddix used to come to camp at McCauley when I was running the camps there, and he was a stud as a little guy. So you knew he was going to be very good. So I am not surprised at all to hear his name mentioned and have him having success.
Yeah, really live arm. He's you can look at him and tell, he's an athletic kid. He's a fast twitch, muscle kid. He's one of those guys that you sit there and say, he's probably going to create a lot of interest this upcoming summer and moving forward. And, and that's the thing too, is you look at him and he's still really wiry, not much muscle on him. And so you think, heck, if he continues to get bigger, stronger, and takes care of that arm, he's going to be in really good shape.
Yeah. I always like Maddix. He was a lot of fun and a lot of talent. Players like that make you a good coach.
Yeah, that's right.
Makes it easy to coach when you got those guys.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah. All right, so that's a ton of names out there. Again, it's so great to see our guys doing well. I'm expecting, I'm going to be disappointed if next week when we do the podcast, if somebody's not Player of the Week again. I mean, it seems like every week we have guys, National Player of the Week, Conference Player of the Week. If we don't have somebody, no pressure out there, guys, but I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen. We're on a run here.
Yeah,
so it's great to hear.
Keep it going, guys.
I didn't ask you that you need to get in.
No, I think just for our guys, during COVID and so forth, a lot of schools not being able to get out and watch, and giving our guys another platform, to put their names out there, kind of let everybody know, how they're doing and so forth. For us, that's the most important thing for us doing this show. And, like I said, makes it easy to do this when we have a lot of guys that are having a lot of success doing well. But I'm looking forward to the upcoming weeks and seeing how they finish off.
It's easy to talk about good players, but it's even more fun to talk about good guys. And we got a bunch of good players and good guys.
Yeah, so, well put.
All right, Brandon, thanks for your time. He is the man, the myth, and the son of the legend. He's not yet the legend, Brandon Turner. I'm Greg Payne. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you next week.